Hi, I'm John from Morrison's M Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a brilliant beef bourguignon. Classic combination of beef with red wine. And we're just going to really just sort of coat this beef in this flour. Just mix it all through, get a nice coating on there. So the next thing we need to do, add about a tablespoon of oil to our pan and just start sealing it off in the pan, nice and gently. And you don't have to put it all in one go. And all we're doing here is sealing the outside of our beef, but also that flour is going to help us thicken our sauce up later on. So just frying it off, getting it nice and golden brown all over. Just keep it moving around the pan. So after about 5 or 6 minutes, your meat should be nice and golden brown, nicely coloured. So what we're going to do is move it to one side of the pan. Just try and keep some of that oil and those juices in that pan. And we're just going to separate it into the casserole dish. Get it in there. Next thing we're going to do is in the base of this pan, we've got lots of nice sticky, tasty little bits. So we're going to add a little bit of our stock to make a lovely sound. The French call it deglassing. It just means to get the flavour off the pan, because it's all good. A little stir, clean the pan, put that in with the beef. Next thing we need to do is seal off our shallots. So all we're going to do is put in a nice hot pan, just give them a little fry. All we're going to try and do really is caramelise them a little bit, get a little bit of colour on the outside. So here we are, we've got them all coloured off, we've got a nice bit of colour in the onions and the smell is fantastic of roasted shallots. So what we're going to do now is pop them in the casserole dish and do exactly the same thing with our mushrooms. So once we've got a little bit of colour on those mushrooms, again, just repeating what we did with the shallots, put them into the casserole dish with the beef. And next thing we need to cook is our pancetta. So now we need to crush our garlic. Just take a couple of cloves, break them open with your knife, just give them a little pat down on the bench. Take the end off and it should release all of the clove. All you do is just run your knife across, pinch of salt, just crush it down the side of your knife. Once we've done that, add it to our pan with our pancetta cooking. And we just want to gently brown our garlic. Not too much, if you burn it, it becomes bitter. And we're good to put that in the pan as well. Next thing we need to do is add our red wine. Just bring that up to the boil. All this does is sort of cook the alcohol off it a little bit. All we can do now is add our remaining beef stock. Put that in there, let it continue boiling, and we're ready to add our tomato puree. Good tablespoon, 2 tablespoons will do the trick. And all this is going to do is just add a bit of backbone to our sauce, give it a little bit of thickness, give it a little bit of richness as well. Once it's boiling and your tomato puree is all mixed in, pour it into your casserole dish. So we've got all our ingredients for our bourguignon into our casserole dish. What we need to do now is put some tin foil over the top. Now what this is going to do is it's going to sort of create a little vacuum inside there, which is going to help cook the meat a little bit quicker. And put our lid on. So we're going to cook this in an oven at about 140, 150 for about 2 hours. So while our beef bourguignon's cooking, what we can do now is make our pie lid. Now you can do a pie lid any shape you want. I'm going to use puff pastry and I'm going to do it like a heart shape because it's Valentine's Day. But what we're going to do is throw a little bit of flour on our bench, get our puff pastry and roll it out. Not too thin. About this sort of thickness should do the trick, not too thin. Now you could use a heart-shaped cutter if you want to. All I've done is made a little stencil out of paper. Put that on top of your pastry. Using a knife, just cut all the way around that. Next thing we do, take the pastry away, and there we are. Our 2 hearts are ready to go. All we need to do is put them onto our baking tray. So I've got here some egg wash. I'm just going to brush this on top of our pie. And this is going to give us a beautiful golden brown colour on the top of our pastry. Nice hot oven, about 190, and it'll take about 10-15 minutes to bake. So our bourguignon's been cooking for 2 hours. The meat is lovely and juicy and tender, and all we can do now is serve it up. So all we're going to do is spoon it into our 2 dishes. It smells fantastic. And all we need to do now is top it with our puff pastry lids. And there you have it. Beef bourguignon with puff pastry hearts. Absolutely perfect for Valentine's Day to treat your loved one.